coolersonsale.com here for our first ice challenge in over 2 years. We're actually going to be running a test again that we ran 7 years ago, the best ice pack for your cooler. Which begs the question, why are we running the test again? Well, in 7 years, quite a lot has changed. As you can probably tell, I don't have a long cord running up my shorts and up my shirt for my microphone. I now have wireless AirPods providing my mic. In each one of these coolers in front of me, we have a wireless thermometer, and on the outside of this cooler, on the external side, we are able to get temperatures external, internal by the minute, so we can really see what's going on with these ice packs inside. But really, at the end of the day, what I'm after is, can the man beat the machine? I've asked the question to ChatGPT, what is the best ice pack for your cooler? And it came back with some interesting results that I figured I better test, because my knee-jerk reaction was, I don't believe these results. For example, the number one on the list by ChatGPT is the YETI Ice. In the test that we ran prior, it was middle of the road, and it did not include the Ingle Ice, which was number one in our test prior. So I really wanted to test man versus the machine. As much as I love AI and the advent of technology, I just don't know that it's there yet when you're going to make a decision based on results, right? AI is great for scraping the internet, but at the end of the day, hard results, where do we lie? That's what we're going to find out. So here on my end, we have the YETI Ice. As you're probably seeing right now, there's actually two YETI Ice in there, because in this test, something that I've learned from doing these tests in the prior is maybe not all ice packs were created equal. And in my mind, that is weight, right? So the YETI Ice, I have a 4-pound and a 1-pound. I weighed them out. We're getting as close to 5 pounds as we possibly can, because that's what all the other ice packs are. So we have the YETI Ice here on the end that was rated number one by ChatGPT. Here in the middle is supposed to be Rubbermaid, but Rubbermaid is no longer available online. If you look on Amazon, Walmart, etc., it's just not available. So I'm using 3 old school Coleman ice packs. Conveniently, they come almost right to 5 pounds, so it's perfect scenario. Again, these are the run-of-the-mill old school ice packs that you probably have at home, at the fishing camp, hunting camp, whatever it might be. It is the old school ice packs that ChatGPT recommended. Here in front of me is Arctic Ice. These are not to be confused with Arctic the cooler. Arctic ice packs here in front of me. These performed really well last time, so we've added them again. This is supposed to be a SmartIce Gel, which is really an ice pack for injuries, right? You put on a sore muscle, you put on a pulled hamstring, whatever the case might be. It's supposed to be a gel ice pack. It's not meant for coolers. So I swapped that out for Ingle Ice, knowing that Ingle Ice was the number one ice pack that we tested last time. So we'll put that in. Last but not least is Cooler Shock. Cooler Shock performed really well when we ran this test last time. The only difference with the Cooler Shock this time is I've actually filled up a large ice pack, again, trying to get as close to 5 pounds as possible. The Cooler Shock, when we added the required amount of water and then froze it, comes in at 4 pounds, which is a pound lighter compared to the other 4 out in front of us. However, it is slightly larger in terms of surface area, and we know that it freezes at a lower temperature. So I'm going to call it even. We'll see how it shakes out, but I do need to put that asterisk out there that the Cooler Shock is the only cooler here that is not really close to 5 pounds. It's about a pound short. So the scene is set. It is the exact same procedure that we've run in the past, with the caveat of I've added a little bit more ice. As you're probably seeing right now, I went to Circle K this morning. I got 2 7-pound bags of ice per cooler. So that's a total of 14 pounds of ice. In the past, I think I ran 10 pounds. So we're going a little bit higher in terms of ice, but they are larger coolers. And they are all exactly the same color, same manufacturer, same size, right? So we should have a very level playing field in terms of size of the cooler, in terms of size of the ice pack, and of course, as much ice. And again, the goal here is to see how much longer can the ice pack prolong the life of ice. In the past, we've seen an ice pack prolong the life of ice anywhere from 12 to 36 hours. And again, I want to see, can the man beat the machine? Can our results beat ChatGPT? 3 days later, and we have some results. And I sure am glad we ran the test because, as I'm sure you just saw, at the 2.5 day mark last night, the YETI Ice was the first cooler, first ice packs to run out of ice. And then as of this morning, the rest of the coolers ran out of ice. And as you know from the beginning of the video, ChatGPT put the YETI Ice in the #1 position. Just for giggles this morning before I came out here, I quickly Googled best ice packs for coolers, and food and wine, or food and beverage, I believe had the #1 Google spot. And they too recommended the YETI Ice. And ironically, it was the first ice pack to run out. So this is similar results to when we ran this multiple times 7 years ago. So what cooler won? It was very difficult to tell because as of this morning, all of the coolers were out of ice. Luckily, I had those thermometers on the inside and I can export the data, which I'm sure you guys are seeing right now. I really needed that because as of last night, the Ingle Ice and the Coleman were definitely the winners, but it was very, very close. The amount of ice remaining, I'll zoom in on that. It was very close last night. But you export the data from the thermometers, and on the graph, hopefully I can splice that in. You can really start to see when the Ingle pulls ahead. It's at the very end of the test before I actually had the thermometer drop into the water. I lost 2 thermometers in this test. I think you guys probably saw that on day #2. My mistake. I was just trying to get the thermometer as close to the ice packs as possible, and well, lesson learned. Nonetheless, I got the data points, and we can confidently say that the Ingle was in the #1 place, followed by Coleman, then #3, the Cooler Shock, #4, the Arctic Ice, and last but not least, the YETI Ice. So we literally turned ChatGPT results on its head with a #1 ranking of YETI Ice by ChatGPT, as well as several others that just scraped the internet with AI to rank these coolers. Definitely in last place. That was easy to see last night with no ice. The last 4 obviously a little bit more challenging, but we have the data, which in my opinion makes the test bulletproof. Right, we can literally say with confidence and really chart that out to show you what ice pack lasts the longest. So not that big of a surprise to me. I think the biggest takeaway for me is the Coleman ice packs. I don't know if we can still find these on Amazon or Walmart. I'll try to find them and put those into the review online. I'll also splice in some of the charts that I'm talking about from those thermometers. And I'm going to do a completely separate review on those thermometers because I think there's a lot of information we can get from those and a lot of uses for those, not just in coolers, but deep freezers, Airbnb, rental properties, just understanding the humidity and temperature of different locations as long as you have internet connected. But nonetheless, that'll be the second round of tests. I'm getting ready to dump these coolers down. I'm going to match the Ingle UL60 as the coolers that we're testing here in front of me. I'm going to fill them up to ice and do a standard test next against the Siberian. And then I'm also going to test 2 different phase change. I think at the beginning of the video, I talked about the difference of a phase change on the Ingle Ice of 28 degrees versus like 5 degrees. So I'm going to match those 2 up and say, at a different freeze point of these ice packs, does that make a difference in terms of the longevity of your ice? So we'll start running that right now. I'm going to run to the gym and then we'll get that test underway. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope this is helpful. As always, I will give a full write-up or a updated version of the write-up on coolersonsale.com. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up. It's what helps us keep going, and we'll be back next time for more videos.